has won back-to-back features here at Louisville Motor Speedway. Chuck Winders in car number 8. Inside row number 2 is car number 5, Chuck Barnes, and on the outside of him, car number 38, Scott Toohey. And then it's Fred Kalin in car number 72 and George Koch in car number 99. The number 1 of Donnie Sullivan up next, along with the number 47 of Tom Seidler. And then it's the number 12 of Daryl Hadley and Joe Lewis in car number 44. On back in the lineup, it's car number 7, Charlie Pierce, and the number 91 of Marshall Jaggers. Then it's the number 29 of Reed Boone and the number 28 of Mike Crecilius. Car number 40, Tom Gray, and the number 22 of Les Vogt. Then next up, it's car number 21, Bill Bird, and the number 33 of Gary Ott. Out of Okolona, Kentucky, it's car number 17, Bill Wallace, and the number 08, Kelly Goodlett out of Brooks, Kentucky. And then it's the number 48 of Leon Lewis, along with the number 31 of Danny Miller, and the number 10 of Pastor Ron Lasley. That's the starting lineup. 30 laps will be the distance. Joe Williamson Jr. pacing the field out of turn number 4. And the green flag is out and we're racing. And they're off into turns 1 and 2. A side-by-side battle for the lead. Chuck Winders out of Pleasure Ridge Park, Kentucky, has won back-to-back feature events. He's going for his 3rd one tonight. But it's the number 53 of Joe Williamson Jr. who turns back that challenge on the outside. Current point leader now, Chuck Barnes, eases up along the inside of Winders and goes for the number 1 spot here inside the 2nd lap of the contest. It's Barnes out of Okolona, Kentucky, who goes out front. Scott Toohey in the number 38 now looking to the inside of Joe Williamson Jr. as they battle side by side out of turn 2. Toohey will take over the number 2 spot in the middle of the back straightaway. Moving into turns 3 and 4 now. Winders goes 3rd on the field. The number 53 of Joe Williamson Jr. at 4th. Fine battle back at 5th as well between Fred Kalin and the 99 of George Koch. It's Winders now who safely gets around the inside of Joe Williamson Jr. Our leader at lap number 4 is Chuck Barnes, the current point leader here at Louisville Motor Speedway in this Winston Martin Landscaping Sportsman Division. Chuck has won 2 feature events during the 1991 racing season as well and appears to be closing in on that right-way grinding saw and tool first to win 4 bonus. Scott Toohey, the rookie of the year in this division 1 year ago in his Churchill Downs Racing Chevrolet, continues to run at 2nd. The 1989 late model champion, Chuck Winders, and 3-time most popular driver here at LMS, goes at 3rd. And car number 53, Joe Williamson Jr., who's tried it all in the mini stock division, the late model division, and now racing in the Sportsman, currently goes at 4th. Fred Kalin in car number 72 in a Chevrolet Monte Carlo SS currently goes at 5th on the field as they click off lap number 7. Then it's Donnie Sullivan, followed by Daryl Hadley, George Koch, Charlie Pierce, and Joe Lewis. Coming around to complete lap number 8, we see some good side-by-side racing between the 99 of George Koch and the number 12 of Daryl Hadley as they scream down the front straightaway. They're back into turns 1 and 2. Koch, a 2-time mini stock champion here at Louisville Motor Speedway, moves in on the runner-up in point standings in the Oval Bomber division from 1 year ago. Daryl Hadley out of Okolona, Kentucky, as they swing out of turn number 4 and again sashay off into turns 1 and 2. So some great racing just out of the top 5. Checking with the leaders now as they come around to collect lap number 10, and it's still Chuck Barnes of Okolona, Kentucky, who continues to put his Robert Hobart Trucking Company, Suburban Car Mart, Rental Uniform Company, Bibby's Barbecue, Snap-on Tools, and Barnes Auto Service Racing Chevrolet out front. Here comes Scott Toohey down low, tried to make the pass coming out of turn 2, out of turn 4, but things didn't pan out. Barnes now moving in on some lap traffic. It's the number 31 of Danny Miller, who goes 1 lap down as the field works out of turn 4 and down the front straightaway. Now Chuck Barnes moving in behind Pastor Ron Lasley out of Shepherdsville, Kentucky, in his banquet table buffet Price Automotive Racing Camaro. Moving down into turns 3 and 4, Pastor Ron scoots up the 12-degree banking. Barnes to the inside as they move into turns 1 and 2. Toohey watching Barnes thread the needle through the slower traffic as they come out of turn 2 and down the back straightaway. Chuck Winders, the sly old fox in car number 8, still continues to run at third place. And the number 53, tonight's fastest qualifier, Joe Williamson Jr., currently goes at fourth. And then rounding out again that top five, Fred Kalin, a full straightaway behind the leaders, but inside the top five on AC Delco night here tonight at Louisville Motor Speedway. And our thanks going out to the fine support AC Delco gives NASCAR and the Louisville Motor Speedway. And they're back with us again in 1991. AC Quality Parts.
Yeah, they're doing real well in that.
AC Delco Quality Parts. Just over the halfway mark in tonight's AC Delco 30-lap feature event for the Winston Martin Landscaping Sportsman Division. Chuck Barnes makes it 3 wide going into turns 3 and 4. And again, he threads the needle past Okolona, Kentucky's Bill Wallace and Brooks, Kentucky's Kelly Goodlett, and still dominates this event, opening up about a half a car length, now a 1-2 car length advantage over the second place running Scott Toohey as the field moves back into turns 3 and 4. Coming around to complete lap number 18 and 12 short laps away from the finish, it's still Barnes, then Toohey, Wenders, and then Williamson, followed by Fred Kalin, a distant fifth. Looks like George Koch in car number 99 experiences problems as he scoots up the banking up in turns 1 and 2 and appears to be headed back towards the pit area. Again, racing for the lead on the backstretch as they go past the inside of the number 99 of George Koch, who's headed back towards the pit area. There's your first 4 cars as they complete lap number 20, and we're 10 away from a finish. It's a 4-car freight train as the field moves out of turn 2 and busts down the back straightaway. Bill Bird in the number 21 along with Reed Boone, the 22 of Les Vogt, all drivers that are getting ready to go a lap down as we now have a battle for the lead going into turns 1 and 2. Scott Toohey in car number 38 moves up along the inside of Chuck Barnes to battle for the number 1 spot, and it looks like Barnes may be having a handling problem in his machine as it looks like it goes into a push condition coming out of the turns, and by that I mean he turns the wheels to the left, the car keeps going straight. The number 8 of Chuck Wenders now nestles in and looks to the inside of Barnes, but for right now it's that Churchill Downs Racing Chevrolet of Scott Toohey. The car also sponsored by Bud Toohey Auto Body Repair, and there's trouble up in turn 2. Tom Seidler, Germantown, Kentucky driver. Oh, and there's problems on Chuck Barnes' machine as he was collected by the 29 of Reed Boone, and it looks as though the caution flag and the red flag comes out at lap number 23. Man, oh man, it was car number 29, Reed Boone, collecting car number 47, Tom Seidler, first of all in turn 2, and then the current point leader, Chuck Barnes, as his bad luck suddenly resurfaces. Now he's going to have to try getting around the number 38 of Scott Toohey. The green flag's back out. We're 7 away from a finish. Into turns 1 and 2. And it looks like Chuck Wenders has the momentum coming out of turn 2, and they are still side by side. Moving down into turns 3 and 4, Bill Wallace spins in the second turn area of the racetrack. As they come out of turn 4 and down the front straightaway, the number 38 of Scott Toohey leads them off into turns 1 and 2. Chuck Wenders slows momentarily going into the first and second turn. Joe Williamson Jr., the number 53 and tonight's fastest qualifier, pulls up along the inside. Wenders loses it up in the fourth turn area, spins it around. Fortunately, no one has collected him, but it looks like he's rolling right down into the racing groove, and it looks like he's going to pull one of these tricks like he did in the Louisville 150 a couple of years ago when he crossed the finish line backwards. Spins around down in the infield, and Scott Toohey is 5 short laps away from a finish. Joe Williamson Jr. in car number 53 runs at second, and then going third, Louisville Motor Speedway posting the number 44 of Joe Lewis. However, that remains unofficial at this time. The 72 of Fred Kalin now posted in the number 3 spot. So we'll continue to watch this racing down the front straightaway as it looks like it's all Toohey right now, 3 laps away from a finish. But Fred Kalin is really racing there with the number 44 and the 91 of Marshall Jaggers. So that never can tell how a top 5 finish will be determined here as they come out of turn 4 and down the front straightaway. 2 away from a finish, and it's Scott Toohey looking for his second feature win of the 1991 racing season, and the white flag will come out for the Churchill Downs Racing Chevrolet. Car number 53, Joe Williamson Jr. runs at second, and then going third, car number 72, Fred Kalin, followed by Marshall Jaggers in the number 91, and Darrell Hadley. As the checkered flag comes out this time around, and Scott Toohey will take the victory. Joe Williamson Jr. for second, then finishing up third, Fred Kalin, Marshall Jaggers, and the number 44 of Joe Lewis. So that's